Now call to order the meeting of the Clarksville-Montgomery County Board of Education. We would all rise, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance and have a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item tonight is Point of Pride Awards. Dr. Vetter.
Good evening. Tonight I would like to welcome our Director of Continuous Improvement, Elizabeth Vincent. She will be presenting this evening's Point of Pride. Good evening, board. There we go. All right. Tonight we will honor some amazing students and schools for their recent accomplishments. First, if I could have Amari Berry from Clarksville High School, her coaches and administrators to please come forward. Amari, Amari was recently named the 2024 Miss Basketball Award winner and the Tennessee Girls Basketball Gatorade Player of the Year. She's the first Miss Basketball Award winner in Clarksville's history and has twice previously been named a finalist for the award. Amari has been one of the nation's top recruits and recently committed to the University of Louisville. This past winter, she became the all-time leading scorer in Clarksville High School's history. She's known as a leader on and off the court and was selected for the McDonald's All-American team in 2023. Congratulations, Amari, and we will all continue cheering you on. Now, if I could have the Clarksville High School girls basketball team to please join Amari and your coaches and administrators up front. The team is comprised of, and I'm filling in for my fearless leader, Anthony Johnson, tonight, so please forgive me if I mispronounce any names as I've just become familiar with the script. The players consist of Amari Berry, Kira Garinger, Shakia Vance, Ella Misnix, Olivia Luce, Avery Hawkins, Summer King, Ava Ahern, Sierra Gregg, Campbell Boisseau, Allie Howard, Malin Smith, Emma Young, and Ella Moore. And the coaches are Brian Rush, Tony Amaro, Lucy Chilcutt, and Sonia Chilcutt. We want to congratulate the Clarksville High School girls basketball team on a terrific season and making it to the Final 8 at the TSSAA State Basketball Championships. Congratulations, Lady Wildcats. Now, if I could please have the Rossview High School boys basketball team, Miss Ward and Messiah Ward, coaches and administrators to please come forward. As we honor the Rossview High School team for making school history by earning a spot in the Final Four at the TSSAA State Basketball Championship, we will pause and reflect on Cam Ward, who is here with us in spirit. Cam had a big list of accomplishments while playing basketball for Rossview High. He scored over 1,000 career points, helped lead the Hawks to the state tournament, and was named to the All-District and All-Region team this past season. While he will be remembered for his accomplishments on the court, Cam will be remembered for the light he brought to so many lives as a loving son, brother, teammate, and friend. After we reflect on Dr. Sanders and Coach Jackson's words about Cam, I will ask that we all pause for a moment of silence in remembrance of him. Cam was full of light and joy and was such a positive presence in our classrooms, on the court, and in our school community. He was and is an absolutely amazing young man who has a special place in so many hearts. He will be truly missed, but will always be remembered, especially in the echoes of basketball games in our gymnasium and the laughter of our hallways. He taught me so much more than I ever taught him. He lived life the way it was supposed to be lived. He was carefree, energetic, and just smiled and spoke to everyone. If the world had more Cams in it, it would be such a better place. Please pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. I will now recognize the players and coaches on the team. Maxim Izzy, Jair Rose, Jay Yip, Cam Ward, Roland Morton, Quamon Lindsay, Preston Russell, Landon Hankemeyer, Evan Deal, Jacob Edwards, Cannon Prather, Christopher Johnson, Nicholas Blocker, Michael Lawton, Lorgan Piakelko, and the coaches, Johnny Jackson, Jacob Fries, Jamil Jackson, and Tariq Silver. Rossview Hawks, we congratulate you on your accomplishments, and we commend you for your maturity and strength that unites you all in times of celebration and times of heartbreak. Congratulations. Next, if I could please have Ava Houston from Clarksville High School, her administrators, and teacher to please come forward. At the state mock trial competition, out of 48 students in the highly competitive category, Ava won the Best Prosecuting Attorney for 2024. This is the first time a CMCSS student has ever won this award in nearly 50 years of this academic competition. Congratulations, Ava. And for our final honors this evening, we will recognize our schools that have earned the Purple Star School Award. If I could please have Deanna McLaughlin, the Tennessee Commissioner of Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission, Deb Muniz, and any other representatives to please come forward.
Good evening. As she mentioned, I'm Deanna McLaughlin, the Tennessee Commissioner to the Military Interstate Children's Compact, and I'm pleased to say that CMCSS has 17 schools that qualified for this award. You met the challenge that we made last year. Deb Muniz worked with several of the schools for this award. She wasn't able to be here tonight, but she has traveled from East to West Tennessee, awarding the other schools that are getting this honor. In total, 41 schools across the state of Tennessee are receiving the Purple Star School Award this month. And we're especially excited that we moved it up so we could recognize the schools during Month of the Military Child. And thank you to those of you that wore purple. I'm joined tonight by our Senator Bill Powers, and LaQuivia and Karen, who are the school liaison officers from Fort Campbell and assist a lot of us with the transition and placement of military children in our schools. I'm going to read one certificate, and it'll apply to all schools. By Bill Lee, Governor, on behalf of the people of Tennessee, by virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon, fill-in-the-blank school, Clarksville-Montgomery County School System, the 2024 Tennessee Purple Star School Award recipient, a day of recognition under my hand on the Great Seal of the State of Tennessee in Nashville on the 22nd day of March 2024. So each school will be receiving a certificate from the governor and the beautiful banner. This award is a partnership between the State Board of Education and the Tennessee Military Interstate Children's Compact, of which your director is on our state council. This program was started several years ago to recognize schools that go above and beyond for military children. We have been doing this for 5 years now, and one of the schools that we're recognizing tonight was one of our first schools, Ringgold Elementary School. This is their third application. You reapply every 2 years. So it's very exciting that one of the first schools ever was Clarksville-Montgomery County Schools, and that they've continued with the tradition. There is a long list of things that a school must do to qualify for this award, and Deb Muniz is so excellent. If somebody is missing one thing, she'll work with them because she wants everybody to have this designation. As we've learned over the years of this program, parents shop schools when they are getting ready to PCS or ETS that have the Purple Star designation, because they know that their child will be taken care of in that school. And we're very lucky here in Clarksville-Montgomery County to have so many schools that do that with or without the Purple Star School Award. So I'm going to start with applicants who are renewing. So they were up for their 2-year renewal. And first I want to recognize Ringgold Elementary School. If representatives from Ringgold could come forward. This will be their 3rd designation. We have to pause for a picture, so if that's okay. Barker's Mill Elementary, this will be their 2nd award. Their first one was in 2022. Glen Ellen Elementary. This is their 2nd designation. They first received the award in 2021. Okay, nobody here. Okay. Liberty Elementary School. This will be their 2nd designation. They were first awarded in 2022. Moore Magnet Elementary School. Northeast Elementary School, this will be their 2nd designation. Their first year was 2021. Getting my steps in. Rossview Elementary School. Rossview High School. Rossview Middle. Okay, the next category are applicants who are first-time applicants or have had a lapse in awarding. East Montgomery Elementary School. Kenwood High School. Okay. Kirkwood High School, pretty impressive. Their first year as a high school, and they went through the process to become a Purple Star school. The Middle College at Austin P. Minglewood Elementary. Montgomery Central High. Northeast High School. St. Bethlehem Elementary School. Thank you very much. There are a handful of schools that will need to reapply next year in order to keep their designation, and there are about 7 that we need to work on. But we really are excited about Clarksville-Montgomery County School Systems and your care of military children. Thank you all so much.
That concludes our Point of Pride Awards for this evening. Thank you so much, Board.
Thank you. We'll take a couple of minutes and give everybody a chance to move around before we go into the next section. Thank you for coming, Senator Powers. He's in his zone. Next item on the agenda will be public conversation. We do have 3 signed up to speak tonight. When you reach the podium, please turn on the microphone by pressing the right front silver button. The timer will display on the microphone screen to show your allotted time, and the microphone will light red the last minute of your allotted time will flash. After the 5 minutes, the microphone will shut off automatically. Our first speaker is Bethany Stiegel. Do I see Bethany? Okay. Our next speaker will be Faye Morales.
Testing. Good afternoon, board members, director of the school district, and everyone present. The last time I spoke briefly. This time I have brought the documents with me. I'm not a big talker. I'm going to show you. I've been applying for various positions in this district. As I indicated before, there's some glitches in the application and hiring process. We all know that when you apply to work in a school district, there's a background check. First of all, I'm not a criminal. I've never committed a criminal act. However, I had attorneys that I signed a document, and a document was falsified. I had attorneys, a law firm right here in Clarksville-Montgomery County that took care of some things for me. At least that's what I thought. When the background check came back, there were some things there that I was told would not be there. I have no shame because I've done nothing wrong. I am 61 years old and I have never, ever committed a crime. When I came to the state of Tennessee, 2001, I didn't even have a speeding ticket on my record. That's how clean it was, and I want it to remain that way. But there are some issues. I won't go into great details, but what I have done for this board, as well as for the director and other people, I feel the need to know before some other things take place. I have copied what I need you to take the time to review. You can't do it all tonight, I guarantee you. But it's information that will show you the process, things that take place, things that don't take place. It will say a lot. So if the board will allow me, I would like to give each one of you a packet you can take with you, review it together as a board members, or review it at your leisure. Because there's going to become a time that you're going to need to know that information. As I said, I'm an applicant for a teacher position. I have 42 teacher certifications. And I'm just beginning that process of really putting my foot down to say I'm ready to work. I am a breast cancer and a kidney cancer survivor. So I haven't been apt to return to work until my doctors have cleared me and I'm good. As I said, I am a survivor of both of those deadly diseases. So if you don't mind, I would like to hand, or someone can assist me in giving each board member a packet that I have put together for you, as well as the director. Is that appropriate?
You may pass them out.
Thank you. It looks thick, but it's not that. Thank you. Dr. Demetrius Thomas, applicant for principalship in this district, sued this district a couple of years ago for retaliation and discrimination. It's my understanding it was settled. He came to me and wanted me to be a part of that lawsuit. He had information that proved that he was being overlooked. He was once an administrator at Fort Campbell. I too once worked at Fort Campbell. We do not know what the connection is with Fort Campbell in this district and the mistreatment of us, but it needs to stop. I wanted to give this district the benefit of the doubt, even though I knew exactly what he was saying was true. He was being bypassed and overlooked. However, I do understand Dr. Thomas did have some issues in this district before. I have not. A school district has no place for racism, discrimination, or hatred. Such words were never a part of my vocabulary until I came to the state.
Thank you. Megan Wise.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak again. Tonight, I want to highlight a concerning pattern of selective engagement from the board as a whole. I want to compare what's been publicly addressed by you at the board, and we're going to compare that with the deafening silence on other issues. So far this school year, some public comments made by the board, fond recollections of former board members. This took about 17 to 20 minutes of meeting time. General statements about commitment to doing what's best for every student. That was unanimously agreed upon and discussed at length. You also had a very lengthy discussion on the agenda and passed a motion to publicly denounce a school voucher bill that never made it out of committee. We spent an entire meeting discussing a voucher bill, even a stance on a voucher bill that never made it out of committee. We heard stories about kindness and how Miss Berry paid for a woman's ramen noodles at Walgreens and how we should act kinder. Now I'd like to turn to situations in which the board has remained silent and made absolutely no comment. Miss Crawford reported her child was inappropriately restrained by a CMCSS employee. No comment. Miss Crockett's child was abused as found by DCS by a CMCSS teacher. No comment. Miss Ring's child's medical orders were ignored and food withheld by a CMCSS nurse. She came to you as well. No comment. Miss Knight expressed that neglect from CMCSS prompted her to run for the school board. No comment. I was here in September and shared direct observations of unprofessional conduct during IEP meetings, students eloping from classrooms that were inappropriately staffed with a lack of safety plans for students with known behaviors, and inappropriate comments made by CMCSS employees about children with disabilities. No comment. Amidst these reports, abuses within CMCSS still continue. At East Montgomery, a special education assistant was found physically mishandling students, lifting children off the floor by their wrists, yelling at them, and inappropriately restraining them. Despite the severity, number of reported incidents, and documentation dating as far back as October, the response was a mere slap on the wrist, a letter of reprimand at the end of March, and then a transfer to work with other vulnerable, nonverbal children in a developmental pre-K classroom. For reference, the last reported incident was on February 26th. I placed a public records request with Mr. Johnson on March 24th. Would you believe that Ms. Leslie Hatley received her letter of reprimand on March 28th? That's not even the most pressing safety concern at East Montgomery at this time. When parents sought clarity and assurance that their children were not among those mistreated, they met the same pattern: no answers, no action, silence. It seems the board's handling of tough issues has modeled its way as a district practice, and this is unacceptable. The board has a track record of reminiscing about the past, making broad, sweeping declarations to do better, to be better, to support our students. However, when it comes to standing up and addressing the real and present issues that face our children, especially those most in need of your action, you have nothing to say. So tonight, I'm not here just to request action. I'm here to demand it. It's time this board live up to its public declarations. It's time to stop the cycle of non-responses and start taking meaningful steps to ensure the safety and rights of every student are not just being upheld, but championed. I will continue to work personally to ensure parents are informed, equipped, and ready to challenge every discrepancy and failure until this district and board take the action that our children need. We've tried working with the schools directly. We've escalated to special populations. Silence and resistance. If the only way to create change is to do so outside of the district, that's where we will go. State complaints, due process hearings, reaching out to the media, and legal action. I hope it doesn't come to that. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I do have one from Mr. Garland. I have a second, Ms. Berry. Discussion is closed. Please cast your vote. Is everyone satisfied with their vote? Vote is closed. Passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is board discussion and consideration of naming elementary school number 26. On naming the school elementary 26, we discussed it somewhat in our last meeting and then also in the work session. We have came up with different names that were nominated. Tonight, the board will vote on a ballot that has all the names listed. And I can't find my instructions, so I'm doing this from memory, but I think the first round, everybody votes for 3 schools, or 3 names of that school. And we hope to get some finalists there. And then we'll go into a second round until we have enough agreement of that school name that that's the one it will be. Before we begin, the voters, any discussion on the names that are submitted? Mr. Berry. You're going to have to turn Mr. Berry on. It's not working from here. No, Mr. Mabry, I'm sorry.
Sorry, we're a bunch of berries. It's okay. I liked the last time around we talked about freedom. I like that. Also, Mr. Patterson made a comment about pass. I wanted to see if we can make an amendment to one of these names, Freedom Point Elementary. And so for those, so I guess, I don't know if it'd be a round of voting in the event that we chose that, if we could change it to Freedom Point. But I like that I wanted to see if that amendment could happen.
Any other discussion, comments? Charlie? Mr. Patterson, I believe you're live.
Thank you. I enjoyed Mr. Mayberry's comment there on the freedom. I like the freedom. The committee has worked hard. They came up with that word freedom. And I realize we're putting 3 nominations initially. I have no problem with putting Freedom Point as maybe my 3rd choice. but I do like the word Freedom Elementary. I do like the word, the school name Freedom Pass Elementary. I had forgotten, looking at my names, I forgot we have Liberty. We have Liberty Elementary School, and I just feel like Freedom would go along with that. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Any objection to adding Freedom Point Elementary as a nomination or additional nomination? You can write that in along with, on your ballot. Ms. Berry?
I object. I thought the last time we gave our recommendations, that was the purpose of the last meeting. And I have no problem with Freedom Point. However, we took all that time. We made our suggestions. We shared them. And now we want to make modifications? Really?
Okay. So as you're voting tonight, write round one on the first ticket. Put your name on it. And mark 3 names that you're in support of. And pass those to Mr. Nolan. He's going to count them.
Has the discussion ended, Mr. Griffin?
I did not see anyone else wanting to discuss, so it did. We have not started the voting process, so is there someone else who wants to speak?
I just want to clarify that we are, excuse me, if you recognize me, clarify that we are adding, I'm adding a Freedom Point on the bottom of my sheet, and that would be an additional choice. I just want to make sure that I understood that. Thank you.
That would be correct. Ms. Berry objected to adding, but she was the only objection. Mr. Mabry, do you have a comment?
Yeah, Ms. Berry, we talked about in our board retreat that it would be appropriate to add a name or amend a name. That's why I brought this up. Also, do we need to vote to suspend our regular rules to do this?
We researched that. It's not necessary.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding us of that, though. Got one more coming from this side.
Mr. Patterson, I'm going to hand you that back. You voted for 2. I need you to mark 3.
I voted twice for 1. I like you so well. Thank you for correcting me. I would have been upset.
see that? We're going to have 4 names on the ballot this time. They are, will be Freedom Elementary, Letty Kendall Elementary, Valor Elementary, and Freedom Point Elementary.
Would you say those again, please, Mr. Chair?
Okay, you've got 4 going to be on the ballot. One is Freedom Elementary. One is Letty Kendall Elementary, Valor Elementary, and Freedom Point Elementary. Vote. Everyone can vote for 2 on this.
2 out of the 4.
Yep.
Second round.
Round 2, and put your name on it.
Mr. Chairman, while he's tallying that up, I'm sorry Senator Powers left. But wanted to recognize him, but in my history class, and this sort of goes along with this, and I just want to share it with you. His mother was one of the daughters of the American Revolution. And I can remember studying about this, and I don't know why, but his mom's name, just shows up. And I wanted to share that with him, which I know he knows, but it's just, I think it's quite an honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Nolan, if you would, double check Charlie's ballot to make sure he marked 2.
I'm on it.
Okay, round 3, you will have 2 opportunities. Freedom Elementary and Freedom Point Elementary. Vote for 1. name of the new elementary school will be Freedom Elementary. Appreciate everyone's participation in that. Next item on the agenda, comments by Fort Campbell School Liaison Officer.
Dr. Lunavetter and the board and the commission. My name is Karen Watkins-Juf. I'm the school liaison officer at Fort Campbell, and I'm joined by my counterpart, LaQuivia Garrett, tonight. And we are here on behalf of the Fort Campbell Garrison. Thank you to all of the schools who participated in the Month of the Military Child celebration. It was great seeing the military presence and interaction in several schools. A special thank you to the Northeast JROTC for their outstanding presentation and presenting of the colors at Fort Campbell's annual Kid Fest this past Saturday. Finally, congratulations again to all the recipients of the Purple Star Award and to those who received their renewal. Your efforts to support military-connected youth haven't gone unnoticed. Thank you.
CMCSS representative. There she is. I did not see you, Stephanie.
All right, good evening. As we are currently administering state testing, and it's almost over with, I offer this for your consideration. A student is more than their label of below, approaching, meets, or exceeds. A teacher is more than their label of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. A school is more than its label of A, B, C, D, or F. A district is more than its label of exemplary, advancing, satisfactory, marginal, and in need of improvement. A student's standardized test score does not reflect the entirety of their journey this school year. A teacher's evaluation score does not reflect all the moments that go into a teacher's commitment to their job, like early morning lesson preparation, standing in line at the copier with lunch in hand, one-on-one time with students, evenings and weekends spent grading, cold dinners followed by 5 hours of sleep, and missed time with their own family. Nor does it show the money an educator spends out of their own pocket to resource their classroom. An evaluation score does not exhibit a teacher's sacrifice and commitment to ensuring students receive a high-quality, well-rounded education. Neither a school's assigned letter grade nor district's designation reflects the partnership between families and teachers, nor does it capture the collaboration that occurs across subjects, grade levels, and support services. It does not demonstrate the important roles that education support professionals play or a school's culture. It doesn't reveal students' academic growth over the course of the year, and it definitely does not reflect the adequacy or lack thereof of educational funding. These misleading labels are all weighted heavily on a flawed high-stakes standardized testing system. So while we look ahead to the results of those assessments, let's remember that the scores only reflect partial truths. The important work happening inside our great public schools, including the hard work and dedication of highly trained educators, is too complex to be captured with a misleading and unfair label. And the members of the Clarksville-Montgomery County Education Association are proud of the work that we do each day to ensure that Clarksville-Montgomery County is the best place in which to live, teach, and learn. Thank you.
PET representative.
I'm glad to see my name up there. As many times as I've spoken, I've never introduced myself. I just assumed since I've been here before some of you are even in school, you would know who I was. So, Kathy Cobb, State President and Local President, Professional Educators of Tennessee. So we're also glad that TCAP is finished. Definitely glad, because I started testing at 8:30 in the morning and some days didn't end until 2 in the afternoon. So I think I have done my share of TCAP testing. But anyway, just to share some news from on the Hill, from the legislators, the universal voucher bill is dead. There were major differences between the House and the Senate regarding the plan to pass Tennessee's universal school voucher scheme statewide. The proposal was definitely not popular with many people. It just didn't have enough support to pass in either chamber. And my main concern was there was never any meat to this bill to put accountability. Where was it going? Who was in charge? So that was my biggest concern about that bill. And even though it's gone away for this year, I have a feeling it will be back next year. And further, there's a proposed bill, House Bill 1202, Senate Bill 1325. This aims to allow certain staff members to carry concealed guns in schools after undergoing psychological evaluations, background checks, and training. However, concerns about liability and the added responsibility on teachers have been raised by groups like Professional Educators of Tennessee. One senator who supports the bill believes it could benefit rural schools lacking school resource officers. Despite support from some lawmakers, the bill's fate remains uncertain as it awaits further action in the House. This legislation has now passed the House and is on its way to the governor. But keep in mind, the legislation was originally touted for districts without an SRO. This does not resolve that issue. The state district and school have immunity, but the educator alone carries the risk and responsibility. Liability insurance is the sole responsibility of the educator. The cost is estimated in excess of $1,500 a year, if available. Post-certification in Tennessee needs to be explained clearly. How easy is it to attain? That was never explained in this bill. The conversations that we've had with principals, directors of schools, school boards, and law enforcement officers, many of them are opposed to this bill. In my conversations with teachers this weekend, I think one comment made sets the tone of opinion. I do not need one more thing on my plate. I'm here to teach. Thank you.
Thank you. Comments by county commissioners. Comments by board members. Mr. Garland.
I'd just like to say that I'm happy that the bill didn't pass, especially I'm hoping that the governor will not sign the one for the teachers. And my concern with that is the fact that I spoke to our director. That teacher that's in that classroom and that shooter come into that building, that teacher leave the classroom, who's going to protect the children in her class or his classroom? Somebody didn't think through this logically, and I pray, I really do pray that Governor Bill Lee do the right thing this time. I'm happy also that the bill that fund public education with state dollars didn't pass this time, because what I see that as is just a way for the affluent to continue to send our kids to private schools using public dollars. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Nelson.
Good evening. I just want to go ahead and personally thank the board, because I know, like me, many board members receive numerous phone calls and emails with parental concerns, and that those are generally handled through the director of schools and Dr. Huff. And there are many issues that do come up that don't come before this board in this board meeting that are handled. And so while not everything is handled as someone may seem to think it should be handled, the issues are dealt with. And Dr. Huff and Dr. Lunavetta do a great job in dealing with all those issues. And then thank you for that.
Ms. Pace.
I have just one more brief statement about vouchers. I know that the education voucher bill is basically dead for this year, but I also know that it will continue to resurface just as charter schools, and that stresses me. I know this bill skims public education funds from the top to private education. Private schools have the option of picking and choosing students. that they will enroll, but public schools do not have that choice. One of the more disturbing results of that is the impact on special education programs. Anyone with any educational savvy knows that the extreme expense of programs designed to educate special needs students, and those children deserve every opportunity available but are not chosen by private schools. Each $7,000 per student taken away by private education dilutes funds available for all public school students. And Chris, you're just such an expert in finance and in budget, and so highly respected. Would you explain how this voucher bill directly impacts CMCSS educational funds?
First of all, I know y'all want me to speak, but that's okay. No. Absolutely. And and Ms. Pace, you hit the nail on the head. It's going to take funding away from our entire school population, and that's what it does. It actually funds, you'll take dollars away that we've allocated and budgeted for our students in the county and give that to an additional resource that doesn't have the same level of accountability that we do as a school district. They do not have the same testing requirements. They do not have the same even teacher certifications is required. So that is it would be a negative impact to our district.
Thank you. I wanted that as a fact, not an opinion.
It is a fact, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. As a fierce advocate of public education and of equity and of fairness, I'd certainly be uncomfortable sitting on a county school board and voting to remove public funds to support private education vouchers which nurture private charter schools. There are vast student choices and remarkable education options and opportunities within our own Clarksville-Montgomery County school system, and I am so extremely proud of these public schools. Thank you.
Ms. Berry.
I did what Ms. Pace said. I won't repeat it, but I am elated that the voucher bill did not make it out of committee. I'm so grateful. And I prayed hard on that thing. I don't know about the rest of you, but it would be bad for public school. It would be bad for Clarksville, Tennessee, and this nation. Thank you.
Seeing no more comments from board members, Director of Schools report.
Good evening, board members. As mentioned, we are wrapping up statewide testing in the district this week. I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of the educators, administrators, and proctors who worked or volunteered in our schools to ensure this week's administration went smoothly. It truly was a group effort. As the last month of the school year is approaching, I would encourage all of the board members to pause and recognize the accomplishments of our students and educators. The award ceremonies, recognition of valedictorians and salutatorians, grade promotions, field day activities, yearbook signings, proms, graduation ceremonies, and scholarship announcements. There are many good news stories among our 39,000 plus students in our district. Please continue to help us highlight the bright spots and work collaboratively on areas of opportunity. Mr. Griffey, this concludes my report for the evening.
Thank you. That concludes our agenda. This meeting is adjourned.